There's a coming of age of fashion in the Middle East. The modest movement has arrived, and it looks like it is here to stay.
We're more than just a cloak on our heads, or we're more than just, what it appears on the outside. We have that same relatability for women who don't cover or do cover. We're all still the same. We're cut from the same cloth.
These fashionistas may be modest in demeanour, but are fashion-forward in style.
Being in Dubai, it's a melting pot, so I think it's borrowed different things from different cultures. So it's street, it's edgy, it can also be classic, it's elegant, it's so many things.
The Islamic Fashion and Design Council in Dubai are hosting an event to celebrate modest fashion. They've called it Pret, and they've invited over 35 international designers who will be showcasing their modest fashion collections to regional heavyweights such as Bloomingdale's, Armani and Louboutin.
I think that the rise of the modest movement is a great example of how Arabia is being more accepted in the Western world. It's more about a kind of like feeling of wearing what you feel comfortable with and not so much if you are veiled or not. So I think that this powerful statement that the region is doing to the world, I think that it's one of the things that I would highlight.
It's not just about covering yourself, it's about feeling good while doing it and looking classy and elegant. And it's an expression of style, so it's for everyone.
Another muse for modesty is Sophia Abdullah, an up-and-coming regional designer and fashion blogger.
I see fashion in the Middle East evolving to the point where it's going to be kind of its own entity. Fashion is something that's all-encompassing in the Middle East, and people really revolve their lives around it. And it's only going to grow more and more.
There's this new trend here in Dubai where the girls are wearing their husbands' blouses like to work, which is I find really weird, but it's actually very good.
They're owning their individuality, and they're owning the fact that they have different ways of expressing themselves. And it might mean one thing when a man wears it, and it take on a whole new meaning when a female wears it. And yes, of course, they're empowering themselves by showing that they can wear what they want and taking a modern spin on something that's very traditional. And I admire that. And if she's taking herself out of her element and out of her box, then it's something that's extremely powerful, and it speaks to everybody.
Stylistically self-assured women wearing what they want, when they want.
I think whereas before, the traditional image of a Muslim woman was just wearing an abaya or this suppressed maybe lady, but now I think that the world is really seeing that we're just like everybody else, that we wake up, we do the same things, we have the same struggles and we have the same desires, and we just want to do it in a stylish way.
And the world is indeed taking notice. Gucci, Marc Jacobs and Dolce & Gabbana all included modest fashion in their catwalk shows this year, putting the modest movement on an international platform and changing perceptions of the hijab.
Some of the ladies that I spoke to felt that it was amazing to see the international designers kind of paying homage to the veil or including in their shows models that were wearing hijabs, because they thought that it was very inclusive and that it kind of helped to battle the Islamophobia that you have in Europe and the United States.
It's about being like confident with what we wear. Like seriously, you don't look at something and say, wow, what she's wearing, because everyone's wearing like some weird stuff and like funky stuff. You don't stop and stare, you know? Everything's normal. You have to expect anything here in Dubai. Seriously, all the glitter, you can wear glitter in the morning, at night. There are no rules, seriously.
A spiritual expression of faith and style that's being reinvented and presented in a modest package.
We really are sort of trying to take the bull by the horns, as they say. We're trying to be incredibly out-of-the-box thinkers. We're trying to motivate people and inspire people to think of a different way to showcase fashion. And I'm grateful that it's happening on the Modest Fashion platform.
If you look at the tremendous growth in bloggers and in influencers and so on, that reflects the fact that a lot of women like to express themselves, and they showcase their creativity in putting outfits together. And I think that has some value for women in the region.
And with a digitally hungry audience, the Middle East is the perfect stage.
I think that in the future, the modest movement will get stronger and stronger. I think that women will continue to feel more empowered to live their lives the way that they feel they should. And thankfully, fashion will support them and will offer them those tools for women to feel comfortable in their own skin.
I wish I met me like 20 years ago when I was struggling with this whole identity crisis, just for someone to tell me, look, it's gonna be okay. You know, if you wanna wear hijab, guess what? You're gonna get that multinational job. You're gonna be able to climb that mountain. You're gonna be able to run that race.
I think that the most important message of what's happening now in the fashion industry here in the Middle East is that there's a certain feeling of empowerment and of women being able to make their own choices, which is completely the opposite of what people were thinking about the region in the past. And I think that that's a very strong and powerful statement, and I just want to believe that it will grow and continue.
Fashion's spotlight is now shining on modesty becoming a key principle. It's encompassing a way of life for its followers.
Now you're seeing women wanting to show who they are, and they're not seeing that as taboo. I'm not ashamed to say, you know, oh, who I am and what's my name.
An artistic freedom of expression.
Women in this region are really unique because they're not exactly what they appear on the outside, and they all vary in their fashion sense.
Or a statement of strength.
I'm just giving out the message that I'm free to dress whatever way that I want to dress, and I don't hang excuses on the fact that I wear hijab.
However this movement is portrayed, one thing is for sure. It's being done with style.